There's one room on every cruise ship that practically everyone visits every single day, and it's the one where the most avoidable mistakes happen. The buffet. It's convenient, it's generous, and for a lot of us who've been cruising for years, it feels like an old friend. But after decades of watching fellow cruisers make the same errors over and over, I can tell you this: a few small missteps at the buffet can genuinely cost you comfort, money, or your health, and most people never even realize they're doing it. Welcome back. If you've been cruising for a while, maybe more than a decade, you already know the buffet is a daily ritual. But knowing your way around a cruise ship doesn't automatically mean you know every trap waiting for you behind that sneeze guard. Today, I'm walking you through 15 buffet mistakes that smart, experienced cruisers should know how to avoid. Some of these are about etiquette, some are about your wallet, some are about your well-being, and a couple of them are things that genuinely surprised me the first time I encountered them. I'll tell you right now, the one I consider most important is not the obvious one. It's coming up later, and it's the kind of thing the crew sees happen to passengers every single sailing. So stay with me all the way through. If this is helpful, tap the thumbs up, it really does help the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is a good time. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, going straight to the buffet the moment you board. You've just arrived, you're hungry, you're excited, and the buffet is right there. The problem is that every other excited, hungry passenger had the exact same idea. The embarkation buffet is the single most chaotic moment the buffet ever sees. Families still dragging luggage, long lines at every station, no tables available. It's more stress than it's worth on a day that should start smoothly. Here's what seasoned cruisers do instead. Check whether the main dining room is open for a sit-down lunch. On many ships it is, and the food is often better, the service is calm, and there's no competition for seating. Alternatively, the pool grill, the pizza station, or a smaller specialty outlet is almost always quieter on day 1. Some ships even offer discounted specialty dining during embarkation. That's a genuinely little-known perk that's worth asking about. The buffet will be there for the rest of the voyage. Don't start your trip fighting a crowd. Mistake number 2, loading everything onto one plate. It's all you can eat, we know, but that doesn't mean it all has to happen at once. Mac and cheese next to shrimp cocktail, next to a bread roll, next to a meatball, none of those foods actually belong together, and piling everything on one plate usually means you taste nothing properly and waste half of it. Take smaller portions, try 2 or 3 things, go back if you want more. This is what the buffet is actually designed for. You're not in a race, you're not going to run out of food. Cruising for any length of time teaches you that the buffet replenishes constantly, and the more relaxed your approach, the more you enjoy it. Mistake number 3, skipping the hand hygiene station. That dispenser at the entrance to the buffet is not decorative. Buffets are shared spaces, shared tongs, shared ladles, shared serving spoons touched by dozens of hands before yours. For those of us who are more mindful about health, and most experienced cruisers are, this is a simple 30-second habit that matters. Sanitize or wash your hands before you touch anything. Don't use your fingers to handle shared food, don't double dip, don't put anything back that you've already touched. It sounds basic, and it is, but you'd be surprised how often it gets skipped in the rush of boarding day energy. Cruise ships are enclosed environments. A little prevention goes a long way. Now, before we go further, if you found the first few of these useful, I want to mention something. This video is covering 15 mistakes, and between the etiquette reminders and the health and money angles, there's a lot more detail than 15 minutes can fully do justice to. Everything I couldn't fit here, the buffet strategies, the dining room alternatives, the cabin and excursion decisions that affect how much you actually enjoy your cruise, I've put together in the Seasoned Cruisers Complete Pack. It's a complete reference you can go back to every time you book. You'll find the link in the description, or you can scan the code on your screen right now. It's there as a resource, not a pitch. Take a look when you have a moment. And speaking of things most cruisers overlook, this next mistake is one I've watched catch people out more than once, and it costs them real enjoyment. Mistake number 4. Only looking at one side of the buffet. This is one of the best kept secrets of the buffet experience. On many ships, the 2 sides of the buffet are not mirror images of each other. What looks like a symmetrical setup might actually have a completely different selection on the other end. One side might have a sushi station. The other might have a carving station with roast beef. One end might be Asian cuisine. The other might be tacos. Before you settle for whatever is right in front of you when you walk in, do a full lap. Window shop the entire buffet before you pick up a plate. This takes about 90 seconds and routinely results in a better meal. I've spoken with plenty of seasoned cruisers who say they discovered their favorite dish on a sailing simply by bothering to look at the other side of the room. Mistake number 5, not speaking up about food allergies. Cruise lines have genuinely improved their handling of dietary needs in recent years, but they can only help you if you tell them. The time to do this is before you sail, when you make your booking. Flag your allergy with the cruise line directly and follow up with the dining team when you board. At the buffet specifically, cross-contamination is a real concern because shared serving utensils move between dishes. If you have a serious allergy, don't rely on the buffet server to navigate this for you. Ask to speak with a manager or supervisor. They are trained for exactly this and would far rather address it proactively than deal with a medical situation later. Your well-being is not an inconvenience to them, but you do need to advocate for yourself clearly and early. Mistake number 6, ignoring the healthier options entirely. Here's the honest truth. Cruise buffets have changed. The days of nothing but fried food and heavy sauces are behind us. Most major lines, Royal Caribbean, Holland, America, Princess, Celebrity, now include grilled vegetables, sugar-free desserts, salads that go well beyond iceberg lettuce, lean proteins, and fresh fruit stations that would hold their own against any decent restaurant. This is vacation, not a boot camp. Nobody is saying you need to eat clean every meal. But if you're on a 10-day sailing and you eat at the buffet twice a day, your choices add up, and for many of us over 60, what we eat genuinely affects how we feel the next morning, especially on port days when you need energy. Balance is not deprivation. It's just smart cruising. Have you noticed the same improvement in buffet quality over the years? Or do you think it depends too much on the ship and the line? Drop your take in the comments, I read every single one. Mistake number 7, forgetting basic buffet etiquette. This one is a bit blunt, but it needs saying. Shared buffet spaces have a social contract, and in an enclosed ship with 3,000 people eating together for 7 to 14 days, how you behave at the buffet genuinely affects other people's experience. Don't cut in line, don't hover directly over a serving station so that other people can't reach it. Always take a clean plate when you go back for seconds, even if your old plate still looks fine. The used plate goes back to the clearing station, not into the buffet line. Be mindful of how long you're sitting at a table during peak hours. If the room is full and others are looking for somewhere to sit, it's a reasonable moment to finish up and move along. These things seem small, but on a ship, every passenger is sharing the same space for the entire voyage. Small courtesies go a long way. Mistake number 8, going at the wrong time. The buffet is not equally busy at all hours. This is something experienced cruisers figure out quickly, but if you're newer to this, it's worth stating plainly. Noon is the busiest lunch hour. 11:30 is often quiet. 6:45 for dinner means lines. 5:30 or 8 o'clock is almost always calm. This isn't just about avoiding crowds, though that matters. It's about the quality of your experience. When the buffet is quiet, the food is fresher because it's been turned over recently, the staff have more time to be helpful, and you can actually choose where to sit. If you're sailing with someone who has mobility considerations, timing your buffet visit for off-peak hours makes the whole experience easier, less crowding, more space to navigate, and no pressure to rush. This is one of those tiny adjustments that has an outsized impact on how much you enjoy your meal. Mistake number 9, rushing through your meal. You are not between connections at an airport. The buffet on a cruise ship is not a pit stop. This is something I genuinely notice among newer cruisers, a tendency to eat quickly out of habit, then wonder why they feel uncomfortable an hour later. Slow down, take your time, enjoy what you're eating, talk to the person across the table, watch the ocean through the window. For those of us who've been cruising for a while, we know that some of the best conversations we've ever had happened over a long, unhurried lunch in the buffet. The food tastes better when you're not inhaling it. Mistake number 10, entering the buffet in wet swimwear. Most major cruise lines have a policy on this, and it's enforced with varying degrees of strictness depending on the ship and the line. The basic rule is cover up before you enter. A t-shirt and shorts are sufficient. No dripping through the buffet in a wet swimsuit. No bare feet on slippery floors around food stations. This is also a health and safety matter, not just a dress code. Wet floors in a crowded buffet are a genuine hazard, particularly for those of us who are more cautious about slipping. Dry off at the pool, put on a cover-up, then go eat. It's a 2-minute detour that benefits everyone. Mistake number 11, passing up something because you think you'll come back. This one is more personal, but I hear it from cruisers constantly. You walk past a dish that looks interesting, tell yourself you'll get it on the next pass, and when you return it's gone. Or the station has shifted to a different offering. Or lunch is over. If something looks good, take a small portion and try it. The downside is that you don't finish it. The upside is that you discover something you genuinely love. Cruise buffets rotate their offerings, and what's there at noon may not be there at 2. The experienced cruiser has learned not to defer. A small taste of something new costs you nothing and occasionally surprises you completely. Mistake number 12, not grabbing your drink before loading your plate. This is a practical one, and it catches more people than you'd think. You build a full plate, find the perfect table, sit down, and then realize you have nothing to drink. Now you're navigating back through a busy buffet with a full tray, or leaving your food unattended while you find the drink station. The fix is simple. Drink first, then plate. Get your water, your iced tea, your coffee, whatever you want before you pick up a plate. If you're with someone, one person handles drinks while the other handles food. It sounds obvious, but in the excitement of seeing the buffet spread, it's easy to forget. A meal without a drink is also genuinely dehydrating, which matters more at sea than it does on land. Mistake number 13, leaving valuables at the table to hold your spot. This is the one I'd never skip mentioning, and here's why. People do this constantly. They leave a phone, a tablet, a handbag, sunglasses, a novel, all spread out across the table to claim their seat while they go back for seconds. And for the most part, nothing happens. Most passengers are perfectly honest, but most is not all, and a cruise ship buffet with 2,000 people moving through it is not a controlled environment. If you're traveling solo, either ask a crew member to keep an eye on your table or take your valuables with you. Your phone fits in a pocket. If you're with someone, take turns at the buffet line, so one person stays at the table. Your belongings are your responsibility, and a buffet is not the place to test anyone's honesty. This is simply the kind of thing that experienced cruisers have learned to do without thinking. Mistake number 14, getting lost and giving up. Cruise ship buffets are large. On the newer ships from Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and MSC, they can feel genuinely labyrinthine, especially if you've made 2 or 3 trips to different stations and lost your sense of direction relative to your table. The practical solution. When you sit down, note a landmark. Are you near the soup station, the soft serve machine, a particular window? Use that anchor point to reorient yourself. If you do find yourself turned around, that's actually not the worst outcome. You may walk past a section you missed the first time. Some cruisers have found the dessert station entirely by accident. But if you're with someone who finds navigation difficult, it's worth taking a moment when you first sit down to agree on a meeting point if you get separated. A small thing, but it removes a potential source of stress. Mistake number 15. This is the one that surprises people, and it's the most important one. Not using the buffet strategically on port days. Here's the thing most people don't think about until they've done a few sailings. On port days, when you're going ashore, your relationship with the buffet should be different from sea days. You want a proper breakfast before you leave something substantial, not just coffee and a pastry, because you may not eat again until early afternoon, and you'll be walking considerably more than usual. The flip side is also true. When you return from a port day, often in the late afternoon, the dining room dinner service is an hour or 2 away, and the buffet is quieter than at any other time. That is the single best time to go to the buffet on the entire sailing. The food has often just been refreshed, the room is calm, and you can sit and decompress without any pressure. For those of us who are on our feet all day during port calls, that quiet, late afternoon buffet meal is one of the genuine pleasures of the cruise rhythm. Use it deliberately. This is a bit debated, and I'll admit not everyone agrees with me here. But I think the buffet, used well, is genuinely one of the best resources on any cruise ship for the way most of us over 60 actually like to eat, on our own schedule, without a reservation, with the freedom to eat a little and come back for more. The mistake is treating it as either a feeding trough or a complete afterthought. Neither extreme serves you well. The buffet rewards the cruiser who approaches it thoughtfully, and after everything we've covered today, timing, hygiene, exploration, etiquette, strategy on port days, you're now better equipped than the average passenger to get the most out of it every single day. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these have you experienced yourself or seen other passengers do? Is there a buffet mistake I haven't mentioned that you think deserves to be on this list? Drop it in the comments, genuinely. I'd love to know. The most interesting ones always come from people who've been cruising for years and have seen things I haven't. If this was useful, please hit the like button. It makes a real difference for the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope today's video has given you a reason to. Next time I'm covering cabin choices and the decisions that actually affect how well you sleep and how much money you keep in your pocket, a few of the things on that list will genuinely surprise you, so subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Smooth seas, and I'll see you next time.